Next game on our list is the Minnesota Vikings defeating the Washington Commanders 20-17. The Vikings move to 7-1 now on the season. This has been a team that might not have looked great, but they still found a way to win, and that's what we talk about all the time. Vikings do move to 7-1. Commanders now 4-5. Aaron, this Vikings team here, we talk about all the time about how special this offense is supposed to, like, how different the offense is supposed to look, or how different this team is supposed to look from Kevin O'Connell and the eras before, the coaches before. This game, I don't know. I think the difference here was the fact that they won the close game again, but on the field, how much of a difference are we seeing?
None. If anything, their offense is worse. No. Let's be honest. Like we've now moved on from O'Connell's going to change the world with this offense. 3 wide receiver sets. They're not. There's nothing special about the Minnesota Vikings offense except they have special players in Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and Adam Thielen. So they got good players. They are a good football team. That's not what we're here to debate. We're not talking about whether the Vikings are good or not. They're 7-1 for a reason. They are a good football team. The difference has been the defense. The defense is coming up with big plays and big moments. And that's, again, what happened yesterday. Now, I'm not going to just let the narrative of the Vikings made it, they figured out a way to win. The Washington handed them this game on a silver platter, up 10 late and still throwing the ball and turning it over. And next thing you know, you're down 3. Like a lot of this goes on Taylor Heineke, but a lot of that goes on that Commanders coaching staff for what they were doing late in that game. And they did not have the ability. And if there ever was an indictment, and I know you're not going to like this, if ever there was an indictment on Brian Robinson, it was in yesterday's game, because Brian Robinson is supposed to be the running back that up 10 in the fourth quarter, you can give the ball to and ice the game, and he's just not in. Like, how many are we going to?
It follows your same narrative. It follows your same narrative. And that's maybe why you said I might not like this, of the inefficiencies of certain Alabama running backs. Like that. I mean, the lack of production after that was just, or when they needed him the most, was alarming.
It's every game, though. Yeah. It's every game. It's not, this is Brian, this is who he is. And it's unfortunate. And I noticed they gave the ball to Antonio Gibson a little bit more in this game. They gave it to him 11 times, and he wasn't overly productive with it either. But I noticed that they maybe are starting to realize all that hype and all that like extra about Brian Robinson starting to fade, because he's not really that great of a running back, guys. Like, he's not explosive. But I thought yesterday, I was like, man, this is his time. Like, if they can start giving him the ball here in the fourth quarter, break off some chunk runs, they can ice this game away. Never came to fruition. And then you throw the interception and you're falling behind now. This is just Washington being Washington, man. They gave this game away, and they had a chance to go on this nice little win streak, and they failed. And Minnesota got another win, and Minnesota all but wrapped up the NFC North. And they're going to coast now. They got to keep their foot on the gas because they're trying to get that first round bye, but they're coasting to at least a home playoff game now. So that's good on Minnesota.
Yeah, it's big, and we talk about it all season long, and even last season. It's got to find ways to win these close games, and they would lose these types of games last season. They didn't lose here with a 20-17 win over the Commanders. I mean, the Commanders, like you said, kind of gave them this game in that fourth quarter. And with certain penalties, they only had 3 penalties all game, but when you look at them, it was a defensive pass interference that nullified a pick 6. That's a big play. An unnecessary roughness call that nullified a Minnesota-made field goal. Like, it gave the Vikings 3 more plays to run the clock down. Like, these are just plays that you're shooting yourself in the foot. And at the end of the season, we'll talk about this. It would be, okay, the Vikings are a defensive pass interference play from losing this game, or roughing the pass, or unnecessary roughness call away from losing this game. But it doesn't matter. They won the game. They're 7-1 now, and like you said, all but have locked up this division in the NFC North as Vikings defeat the Commanders 20-17.